Our goal as the denomination is to plant 1,000 churches. It's a great goal, and I think it's doable. For us, we're not much, Wisconsin Presbytery. We don't have a church, one church now that's over 300 people, but we're not large. We came with a vision together to plant churches. And in 2010, 6 particular churches, now 21 particular churches. And that is just coming with a vision together. And I think if presbyteries do that, if they have visions for this, it can happen. They just have to be united and together move forward. And I think that goal that MNA has set, our denomination has set, is doable, it's exciting, and I think it's ripe in America to do it. The All Wisconsin Network, it takes 3 different paths of developing church planters. Path 1 is we take guys from outside the system, outside the state usually, and we bring them in to plant churches. And then path 2 is we take guys that have gone to seminary, have been to assessment, and they basically go to a church to be mother-daughter plants. And then path 3 is the cohort. We're taking guys that have not gone to seminary yet. We're developing them through the All Wisconsin Network, which is part of all those other paths. 5 years, and after 5 years they'll have a divinity degree, hopefully be licensed and then ordained to plant churches.
I've been up here almost 40 years in Wisconsin. From 1995 until 2010, try as we might, we could never get a church planter to come here. For some reason, it might have something to do with the weather, so we decided rather than always trying to recruit somebody from another part of the country, we would raise up our own pastors up here. So we started the program in 2017 with 4 students making use of the RTS hybrid program. And at that time, we were able to fully fund their education, their books, their travel, and everything. Now, in the On Wisconsin program and in our cohorts in various stages, we have 60 men preparing and in ministry. So that has allowed us to reach the state in a way we never could before. Today we held our once-a-month meeting with the On Wisconsin cohort. This cohort is made up of those who sense a call to ministry, are in preparation, they're attending seminary, RTS in Orlando in the hybrid program, Covenant Seminary, Lamp Seminary, using a variety of means. But they gather once a month to be able to work on what we call soft skills, all the things that are needed that create a healthier pastor and for pastoral longevity.
It's been really great just to see the fruit of this program being a product of this program myself in a sense. In 2017, we planted Livingstone Church in Oshkosh, Wisconsin as a church plant here out of Emmaus Road Church in Appleton. One of the guys who was a part of the original On Wisconsin cohort was one of the first interns in this program, James Lima. He's planting Good Hope Presbyterian Church. So that's a product of this whole dream of this cohort, and we're really seeing some things start to come to fruition. So it's been really exciting to see what the Lord has done.
It was incredibly good timing for me to be starting seminary, and then at the same time, the church that I was at in Appleton was beginning the process of planting a church in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Dan Breed sat me down and pitched the idea of at least considering church planting to be a part of the On Wisconsin Network and then to go be a part of planting the church in Oshkosh. So right away when I started seminary, started training for ministry, I got to do so alongside a church planting pastor. I got to see not only the work of a pastor, but the heart of a pastor from being mentored directly by Josh. I got to see from day one what it looks like to plant a church. And so I felt like I not only got the theological education of learning how to be a pastor, I got that practical immersion in the work of the church and the work of ministry. By the time I had gotten ordained, I had already been doing a variety of ministry-related activities, both in college ministry and in the church, for 7 years already. So I didn't feel like ministry was this thing that I had learned about but never done. Stevens Point is a city, it has a state school in it, UW Stevens Point. It's where I went to college, studied fisheries management and biology. I have family that lives in the area. My parents live just a few blocks from where we're meeting right now. We understand the people here. It feels like we fit this context really well. Yeah, and I don't think that would be the case if we were just being called to some town that I had no history with.
When we first moved here, we're looking for a PCA church and saw that the closest one was in Merrill, Wisconsin, which is about an hour away. Well, we felt really strongly that yes, we could go to that church, but we wouldn't be able to be involved in our local community.
So it was disappointing at first, but we did very quickly get connected to a good church here in town. We were really excited that a PCA was getting started up in Stevens Point and just down the street from where we live. And so we were probably ready to join before we'd even come to visit the first Sunday, but we decided we probably should come visit and get a little bit of feel for the church.
It's so important that I'm able to stay here for my training because I want to minister to the Wisconsin people. And if I were to head out of state, I would learn great theory, great practice that's universal. But here, right away, I get to get in the trenches with pastors who are doing the work, and I get hands-on training day to day with how they're handling church planting issues.
I'm a ruling elder at Friend of Sinners Church in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Currently also in Lamp Seminary, and I am under care to become a teaching elder, and then looking to take over Friend of Sinners Church in the future once seminary is completed and ordination is complete. Born and raised in Milwaukee myself, coming from a background of the urban life, poverty, dilapidatedness, hopelessness. I believe the Lord is using me to bring hope right there in the city of Milwaukee where I've came from. I've been part of the product of the environment as well. I just believe God is going to use me there until He calls me home as just a foundation, a home base for preaching, living and serving in the gospel.
We kind of developed this program together, the MNA committee, the All in Wisconsin Network. We're realizing the amount of people that are in the pipeline for church planting is low, that we have to develop our own pipelines, get our own people, find our own people within our churches and in our locales, our presbyteries, our states, to be able to raise them up to plant churches, because you're just not going to find them just anywhere. It's becoming less so.
Paul was a church planter. And if we want to see the gospel go forward, we want to see the Great Commission obeyed in our cities, in our states, in our country, in our world, that's going to take planting biblically faithful, gospel-preaching churches. I think that's what obedience to the Great Commission looks like. Obedience to the Great Commission looks like planting and fostering biblically faithful, gospel-proclaiming churches.